Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our Polo Weekly Scoot AMA. I'm Chris, joined today by our CTO, Elwa, and our COO, Nadim. And today, we'll be deep diving into some exciting new launches on our service and operations fronts and answering any questions from our viewers. So for those of you who are new to these AMAs, the goal of this is really to share what our team's working on, to have a direct feed with our customers and answer any questions, and to give you really an insight into what the realities of what's going on behind the scenes here at Apodo. So we'll jump straight into it. And I guess today we'll start with Nadim. I see we launched something called Apollo Plus this week. Do you want to give our viewers a little bit of a rundown into what Apollo Plus is, why we launched it, and a bit of details?
Yeah, for sure. So Apollo Plus is made up of a few programs, and the whole point of Apollo Plus is to create a after-purchase support ecosystem for our customers. And really, we want to target every step of the journey, from the delivery process to the unboxing process to your first ride to every ride from there on out, until you stop riding the scooter. And so really the first part of it is Ship Plus, and Ship Plus is really just we have a lot of issues. I think a lot of companies that ship heavy, expensive products through couriers have very similar issues as well, where they either arrive damaged or they don't arrive at all. And then there's this entire process of filing a claim with UPS or FedEx or whoever that courier might be. They take like 10 to 30 days to resolve that, to try to locate the package. And the entire time the customer is sort of like stuck holding the bag, waiting for UPS to resolve the claim. So we wanted to eliminate that process. So Ship Plus is a service that you can add to your cart at checkout. And essentially, as soon as it doesn't arrive when it's supposed to arrive, we send the replacement out for free, and then we take care of everything with UPS. We'll take that risk on, I guess, essentially to expedite the process for the customer. And then if we cannot replace it, then we'll provide a full refund. So it is a little peace of mind with purchasing, especially in today's sort of like fulfillment delivery climate. It seems like these types of issues are becoming more and more frequent, which is really disappointing. But we did want to create something that customers could take advantage of to help at least streamline that process. The one that I'm most excited about. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was going to jump in and say, like, for customers who, some people have never had issues with UPS and stuff, but we see a lot of it. And when, again, your $2,000 scooter arrives completely smashed or comes without a box and there's a tire missing on your scooter, it's incredibly frustrating. And again, the whole point of these is to give you as much context as possible. And the reality is, when you get something like this and you file a claim to UPS as a customer, UPS doesn't even, it'll take 4, 5, 6 weeks for them to even reply. And they'll be like, oh, we're sorry, or oh, we actually delivered it properly, and something else happened, and they always scapegoat it. And this is why, like, again, this whole program is to say, fine, we'll take responsibility for it, and we'll make sure the customer has a good experience, and then we'll take the fight to UPS after. But you'd be surprised how many issues and how many packages actually end up being stolen, being smashed, or whatever upon delivery, which is why this is such a great initiative.
And it's not even a joke, right? We saw customers getting their scooter with the motor missing, like
without a tire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is a pretty it's a pretty serious problem, right? And the unfortunate thing, it's like everyone, some people might say like, well, why don't you just get a new courier? You can't. They don't exist, right? There are only a few companies that have the network that we need in order to ship, right? And so it becomes a bit challenging, right? We have to work with the partners that we are forced to work with, and these couriers are fit that build, right? So we need to create a program that at least supports customers, and Chris, you put it really well. So that's Ship Plus. The second one is then now you receive a scooter, finally, hopefully no Ship Plus claims needed to be filed. It arrived in the perfect condition. The care that we put into designing the unboxing experience can be sort of, comes through. You unbox the scooter and you turn it on and there's an error. Something maybe got disconnected or loose while shipping, or something's just not right. The worst experience possible. You wait so long to get your scooter, and then there's an error. So In the past, how this would work is that we would try to troubleshoot the error with you virtually. And if it was an error that caused the repair, you'd have to send that right back to us to get it repaired. And then you're waiting for another couple weeks through the shipping process back and forth for us to fix it, warranty repair, and then you get your scooter again, and hopefully it's fixed and everything is working. That sucks. That is a really, really, really bad experience, and one that a lot of customers who were, who purchased us in the past were just not very happy with, which we understood. So we wanted to then provide some peace of mind with that as well. So basically, QC Plus is a service that comes free with every purchase. It is part of our warranty. If you have an error out of the box, or if you experience any sort of defect or damage really within the first 10 kilometers or 30 days, but most likely worth the first 10 kilometers, you send that right back to us. We send you a brand new scooter as a replacement, or if we're not able to, send you a refund as well. So again, peace of mind with that unboxing journey really was kind of like the focus of QC Plus, and really trying to make sure that if our QC fails, the customer is not the one who is footing the bill for that, or at least wasting their time waiting for a replacement. If our QC fails, we should be taking responsibility for that, and QC Plus is our way of doing that.
And not to go on a tangent on this conversation, like we'll go after this afterwards, maybe with Alois. We'll talk a little bit more of how we've kind of put in measures for our QC to ensure that all scooters come with everything perfect, whether it's a checklist and everything in China. And again, we'll go through that afterwards. But just again, I know it sounds quite obvious being like, oh, QC Plus, like you guys should be QCing your products. It's not that easy, and there's a lot of moving pieces and small things, like just forgetting to put a bag of I forgot what it's called, a silicone bag in a scooter box, and then it travels across the ocean from China. There could be water everywhere in your scooter, and the whole thing doesn't work anymore. Like there's such small details that sometimes are in your control and out of your control. And we can talk about that straight after. But yeah, QC Plus is a great way to at least protect it. If it's external, whatever happens, like we've got your back.
Yeah, we talked a bit about like the quality control stuff, the different initiatives we're working on in a previous episode. And one of the things we talked about is like holding ourselves accountable as well. And I think QC Plus is, in a really interesting way, a way for us to do that. Like it's about incentives aligning between us and the customers. We don't want to send out a bunch of replacements. It's expensive for us to do so. So it puts pressure on us as a company to do better QC, right? So it's in an interesting way. It's a neatly designed program in the sense that it's a huge benefit to the customer, which is obviously the main objective, but also puts pressure on Apollo as a company to just do better every single time we produce or ship out a box. So yeah, that's QC Plus. And then obviously there's the limited warranty that we have for 12 months. So we doubled essentially the components that we cover under that warranty, which is super exciting. We also made it transferable. That was a big issue with a lot of customers who purchased a scooter. They wanted to sell it. You have this person who has purchased a secondhand scooter. They come to us saying, hey, like this should still be under warranty. And then we tell them, no, it's not because you purchased a secondhand. And so we're happy to make that not a thing anymore. So now if you purchase, if the scooter is still within the original warranty period, so if it's still within 12 months of the original purchase date, and we still need that information. So if you are purchasing secondhand, then please collect the information, like the customer's email at least, or even the order number. That's like all we really need. And we're going to move away towards serials soon. We're working on some stuff on the back end, but that's a big change with the transferability now. There's a bit more flexibility for our existing customers, and for anyone who wants to buy secondhand, they're still covered under warranty.
And then the reason why I guess we didn't have the transferability before, but there's a lot of reasons, but it was mostly because of theft. Theft, you could never track it, and people would sell scooters saying there's warranty coverage, and a customer who doesn't know it was a stolen scooter would come to us and say there's warranty, and we say no, and it's a bad customer experience. And then even small things like aftermarket parts, people would upgrade their scooters with batteries, motors, different chargers, completely destroy the scooter, sell it off saying there's warranty, and then we find out there isn't, and then it makes another bad experience for a customer. So I know it sounds quite easy, just being like, let's just transfer warranty, super easy, but the steps in place to do this, making sure there's a proper process, making that's the most important part. And again, Nadim and the team have cracked it, so super excited to do that. And we weren't just putting those policies in place to annoy you as customers. Like, we understand, but there has to be a process, which we finally have. So happy that's coming.
Yeah, and I mean, anyone who is purchasing secondhand, like, please make sure that, or at least when you are purchasing, that you're not purchasing something that has a lot of aftermarket components or anything in it, because that still will not be covered on the warranty. So the warranty policy is all there on the site. please read it, understand it. It's important that you know what you're signing up for when you're purchasing a product. We try to make it as clear as possible, and if it's not clear, please let us know so we can make it even more clear. But yeah, there are a list of exclusions, and one of them is aftermarket parts. So please make sure that you're not buying something that would have any of that. We were just looking at some comments here. Sirach, as a former FedEx driver, from my perspective, it's hard on my end too. We appreciate it. Not here to bash the FedEx drivers at all. I think like anything, it's, when you're working with a very, very big company, it's not the people, it's the whole entity, right? That tends to not have the best policies or best way of working in place. Our scooters are heavy, and if you're transporting those to a customer, obviously things can happen, right? So we understand it from a driver's perspective for sure. But yeah, shout out to you, Sirach, for all the hard work. And then we're going to get to a couple other points, but I just wanted to talk about Extend. So Warranty Plus. So we had a previous provider called XCover Go who was offering warranty in the US. For a lot of different reasons, it just wasn't really the right fit for us. So we decided to sign a new partnership with Extend, and that launched yesterday. And we've started to offer, again, finally, extended warranty for customers who want to extend their warranty by 1 or 2 years. And basically, this is going to not just extend the warranty. So you have your 12-month limited warranty. You're going to get an extra year or 2. It's also going to expand your original warranty. So it's going to cover things like accidental damage. It's going to cover things like mechanical and electrical failures due to water damage. So those are huge, huge, huge things that always will void the limited warranty. With Extend, you have the option of getting that extra coverage, and you could purchase it up to 90 days after you've made your original purchase. So obviously an expensive scooter, it's not easy to drop another 10 to 15% on an extended warranty right away. So this gives you a little bit more time before making that decision if you choose to. And that was one of the big reasons why we switched. For anyone who is with XCover, who has purchased with XCover, you're still good. No need to worry about anything. You're still covered. We still are going to support you along the entire way. All the documentation is still there. You can still file a claim. So you're good for the lifetime, or the maturity of until the maturity of your agreement with XCover. But yeah, super exciting for Extend. That's only in the US right now. Unfortunately, Canada has a very different set of regulations that our partners are trying to navigate. I'm hoping in the next 30 days. That's what I've been hearing, the next 30 days. But I've been hearing next 30 days for a while now from the partners they're working with. They're working really hard to do it. I think it's just, a lot of back and forth with from a regulatory perspective to make sure everything is good. But we're working hard with them to try to make that available as soon as possible for our Canadian customers.
Cool. Thanks, Nadim. And do you want to quickly touch on, I know there was something with the warranty on the City 2022s as well. For anyone who owns a City, there was a bit of an update as well on that that we were doing.
Yes. Yeah, so we know that the City 2022 was late. I think we've covered it quite a few times. And so what we decided to do was anyone who purchased their City 2022 before November the 1st is going to get an extra 3 months of warranty coverage on us. That's just a small way for us to get back the time that was lost waiting for the scooter to arrive, and a sort of like a thank you for your continued support, obviously, despite the City saga. So yeah, that's exciting news as well. So you've got an extra 3 months on your 12-month limited warranty, so you're up to 15 months.
Amazing. That's great. So yeah, I guess that's a really good update on in terms of like the warranty and the Polo Plus in general, which helps with the customers. And then it would be great to talk a little bit more again, and we'll go to your questions, guys. I can see there's a lot of questions, which is great. Before we jump to those, I know there's also been lots of improvements internally in terms of it could be manuals, sheets, sort of informational sheets, toolkits, maintenance guides. How did that initiative start? And so what are the procedures put in place today to help with those? I'm curious to hear how the whole process went through.
Yeah, I mean, I'll maybe say what I would start, and then I'll hand it off to you. You could probably talk about this as well. Where did it start from our customers? I think, like as all things start, we listen to that feedback, and it's not just feedback that comes in through like Reddit or through YouTube comments or anything like that. It is just like the day-to-day interactions we have with our customers. We look into that and we look at, well, what are the problems that people have? We get 10,000 different, we get 10,000 emails a month. Like that is a lot of information there for us to process, to understand, well, what are the most common issues? And one of the most common issues was just, how do I identify this part? And you have someone sending in, asking for, we ask for a bunch of videos, we ask for photos, we need to like ask them to like, mark it up with like a little on like their computer or on their phone with a red square, a circle. It just doesn't make sense to do technical support virtually like that. And it was a major pain point. So we sat down with the ops team, sat down with the R&D team to think about, okay, well, what are some of the ways that we can make this information more available to customers? And that's when Elwha and the team came back with some really awesome suggestions. So yeah, Elwha, if you want to walk through sort of what that looks like, that would be great.
Yeah, I think one of the problem too was, because we always, let's say a customer needed the screw, well, we're always sending it, but we didn't have the stock of that screw in stock. So we're taking it from a unit that we had in the warehouse, and that this whole unit was becoming unwritable because there was one screw missing. So you can imagine the pile growing and growing in the warehouse. Everyone was frustrated by this, the customer, because it was on our team as well. So we identified all the screws on the scooter that we thought are critical, which is pretty much all of them, and they're going to be included for free now with every new purchases, starting fairly soon. And you have a screw sheet as well. I don't know, Chris, if you want to share your screen with what I just sent you, but every screws is labeled. So you have the list of 1 to 30, let's say, and you have the little bags numbered as well, 1 to 30. It's like an IKEA, it's super well labeled. And next to every numbers, you have also the dimension of the screw with the name of the screw. So if you want to go to your hardware store, now you can. So again, it's always about removing that contact that is unnecessary with the customer service. And we also provide all the tools necessary to fix pretty much everything on the scooter. The key to undo like the motor nut, all the Allen keys. We have spare parts like the brake pads, inner tubes for the Phantom. On the City, we don't, because the brake pad's going to last pretty much a lifetime of the scooter, and the tires, well, they're pretty good because they're self-healing. And yeah, I'm going to be including this with every scooter, and it's going to be available on the website as well. If you already bought your scooter and you want to have it now, it's always a good accessory, I think, to have when you go on a ride, so you can fix everything on it if you have a flat tire, for example. And we also made a maintenance kit that's going to be a torque wrench with the Allen bit that you can put on it, and we're going to be providing the torque on the same screw sheet that I mentioned of all the screws. So if you want to go a bit more into details and you don't have access to one of our repair center, for example, you can buy this kit and check all the screws and give them the proper torque at your place.
Amazing. Thanks for the context, guys. So again, there's a lot of comments and we have 10 more minutes. So we're going to quickly,
let's go through.
I just want to do a quick touch base on things because Elwha, you talked very well about again, having those parts and everything ready. One of the biggest issues with scooters though is that most people buying them sometimes don't have a full idea of what part happens or what product breaks or how to sort of service it. Nadim, do you want to sort of just quickly talk about how we're improving the servicing, I guess, better support tools overall, just very quickly before we jump into the things, because I think that could be really good, the video support especially.
Right. So what I recommend everyone does is we talk about all of this in our servicing keynote. It's on our YouTube channel, so please watch that. It's 13 minutes of a lot of content. You can see my face talking about all of these things, but quickly, video support is one of the big ones. Face-to-face contact with one of our technicians or hardware support team who can help you diagnose your issues virtually. The goal is to do that within 10 minutes by either helping you fix the issue, sending you the spare part that you might need to fix that issue, or recommending that you send it into a servicing option. So that's from a support perspective, one of the most important things we're working on. Preventative maintenance, we have maintenance packages that we launched as well at all of our shops. So we, like a bike, like any vehicle, you want to tune it up to make sure that everything is working. So that's part of the maintenance kit that Elwha talked about. Make sure that all your screws are tight, make sure that everything is in place. We've also released recommendations for how many kilometers, per how many kilometers, what you should be checking and when. As well, that's on our help desk. That's online as well. We'll make that, that's there for you if you need it. And then the last thing is we really want to expand the servicing network. We know that you want local servicing options. One of the challenges with that is we need to make sure that the people who are servicing your scooters are certified to do so. And so we're working on that. We're working on a course, basically a certification course that everyone has to do. in order to touch any of our scooters and fix them, because we can't recommend someone who's not sort of qualified to do the repair. And that's been one of the factors that's been hindering the sort of like the expansion of our servicing centers. But that's where the focus is from servicing for this year.
Amazing. Cool. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let's jump through these questions. We might not be able to answer all of them, so I'm going to just pick and choose the ones that can help, I guess, most for everyone. Okay, let's see. Do you know when the Pro will be available? Great question. So the Pro is currently in beta, which means the beta programs are going to be launched it's already launched, but people are going to be getting their scooters in June, July. And then with the actual launch of the Pro, it should be just after that, in which delivery of that should be in October, November. Elwar, correct me if the timelines have changed, but
that's correct.
Yeah, so that's where we are today. And again, we're super excited. The community, just the interest, the demand, like even ESG's video has been incredible. So it's really, really exciting. And the whole team here is really excited for this as well. Excited for the Pro beta. Are we going to be picking up the betas from the hub? Are they going to be fully assembled, or are we taking the box? They will. If you're picking it from the hub, it'll be fully assembled and ready to go. Just to make sure the QC is good, and you'll just have the best experience that way. Shipping dates, I've just talked about that. Is there a place where I can walk in and buy an Apollo scooter in Montreal? Unfortunately, for the time being, no. Simply because we have our repair centers in Montreal, so anything for repair servicing can be there. But in terms of the stock itself and purchasing, sorry, go ahead.
You could buy a refurbished product from the shop in Montreal if you're looking for, but a brand new one, we don't stock them there. So we wouldn't be able to do that. It's probably just faster to have it shipped to your place.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if you're looking for a refurb, then for sure.
And we have a lot of refurbs, open boxes that go through a whole process to make sure they're fully up to date and have the same warranty. So if you guys are looking for a scooter this summer and a little bit cheaper price, definitely look at that section on our website, the open box and refurb. Okay, when will we get to see more of the Explore 2023? That's going to be in a few weeks. We're really excited. There's a really good video coming out with Elwar that walks through the whole product, and it's going to be key to get all of your feedback. So stay tuned. Subscribe on our YouTube channel, and you'll get notifications on when that gets launched. So that's going to be really good. Okay, let's run through these Apple approach.
Yeah, a lot of questions about the Pro features. I would just say wait until we launch the next video. And then maybe what we'll do is once we've launched the last video, we'll do a full AMA on the Pro when we'll have all the details to answer all the questions. There's some questions about quad lock here, about the BMS. We can't really get into all of that because we don't know all those details yet, maybe, or Elwar wants to keep it top secret for now. So we'll get to the Pro stuff very soon. Yeah, promise.
Yeah, there's one question here saying, can I add blinker lights to my Apollo City Pro? Stay tuned and watch the hardware keynotes that Elwar will be launching in the next few weeks. There'll be some really cool hardware upgrades for that could help solve this for sure, which will be a big one. Okay, we've got 6 more minutes. Elwar, I don't know if you want to answer this one, but how complicated could it be to, on a hardware perspective, to add an external sealed connector and a removable battery pack to extend the range on a scooter? It's doable. You just if someone wanted to do this, I would recommend not just plugging a parallel connector. Don't put it in series in parallel, and you need a switch between the 2 battery pack on off. Don't plug both of them at the same time in parallel, because for sure you won't have the same battery cell that we have, the 21700, and they're going to get unbalanced, not like at the same rate. Like they're going to discharge differently, and when you want to charge it, it's going to charge both. So just put a parallel connector, put on-off switch, or when you're done with a pack, you switch the switch on and you go to the other pack. And I would recommend checking Falcon PEV YouTube channel. They have good connectors for this and everything if you really want to do this. Cool, really cool. Will there be any plans in the future for more raw performance-oriented models? So no, unfortunately, this is something we're focusing really on quality, features, and overall riding experience. When we look at the stats, which is really amazing, like we have a lot of riding stats and data. It's something like 99%, the majority of the people ride on average at 25, 30 kilometers an hour. And the people who actually hit that top speed is less than 1%. So although we do see all of these, really cool scooter brands and videos saying, scooters going to 120 kilometers an hour, our priority and one of our core pillars is safety. And we really are trying to push and make sure that we design a scooter that adopts to every scooter need, especially on the safety innovation side as well. So unfortunately, not for now, but there's a lot of cool companies that do.
And if we do, there's going to be an upgrade kit, so don't worry about it.
There we go. Elwha loves the speed. Is there an insurance company you guys would recommend? Unfortunately, like for now, insurance companies, normally it's on your personal insurance or house insurance that covers scooters and bikes. Scooter insurance companies, I'm not too sure. Well, our team can look into that.
But there was one that I've been hearing. I can't remember what they were called. But again, it's really new space, right? So I'm not 100% sure, but there is one in the US, I think, that has started to try to get into. Sorry, I can't remember exactly which one, but maybe look it up, try to find it. But I think that they're starting to become a thing, which is great news.
And there's one in Canada called Goose Insurance that has a micromobility sign saying coming soon. So I really hope it is coming soon. I don't know any more details on it yet. I'm watching that space closely as well because I want to insure my scooter. But yeah, we'll share some updates on that. There's another
question about.
Sorry.
Yeah, just quickly, Ian. Would it be better looking at the Ghost? Would it be better to get the Pro or the Ghost? I guess it depends on can you wait, but also the Ghost has a V3 kit, an upgrade kit coming.
It's not the same price, too, right?
Right, completely different use case for a scooter, right? The Ghost is for someone who's looking for high speed, relatively good value for money price wise, and it's still less technologically advanced, but with the V3 kit, it's going to be great with regen and everything else. The Pro is for someone who wants IoT, the 12-inch tires for more comfort, a more smooth acceleration, and overall it's more of a design thing. So it depends.
I would say get the Ghost for the summer, get the V3 kit that you're going to see more detail when we're going to announce it, and you can just sell it at the end of the summer, because once you have the V3 kit and the Ghost, it's a unique scooter. Nobody else has this, so I think it's going to gain in value, not depreciate. So yeah, I would get the Ghost for the summer and then just sell it, get the Pro.
And the warranty is transferable now too, so that should help you sell that. There was a question about, and there's a few questions about the Phantom V3 and heat. I see Aaron in the comments sharing some links for heat sinks and stuff like that. Maybe do we have time to go through this?
Yeah, quickly. So there is some report of the controller overheating in the V3, which we were expecting, and that's why in the installation video we mentioned to put like a thermal pad and put it on the heatsink side. And most of the case that we saw of overheating, it's people that install it incorrectly. They don't put the thermal paste and they put it on the flat side compared to the thin side. Just doing that's going to change the whole thing. And again, even if it overheats, the app's going to tell you it's going to limit the power. You're never going to be able to burn the controller. And if this is currently happening to you, just dial down the acceleration and the regen in the app, and that's going to make a world of difference as well.
And there's a few. Sorry, last question. We have a minute. Elwha, there's a few questions just about apps and just doing resetting settings and everything else. Do you want to just share about the latest upgrades?
Yes,
or just the latest version, I guess.
And just FYI, right now we have 700 Phantom registered in the app, and the average controller temperature for all of them is 53 degrees. It's overheating at 90, 95 degrees. So overall, it's excellent. It's better than the City, in fact. For the reset settings, so people are referring to the regen setting. I believe in the Android side that was updated. We have the latest SDK that does fix this. So just make sure you download the latest version of the app. And also how the app is structured is to access those settings, you need to go into UF mode, which is like deep setting. So once you adjust your setting, click save, and then it's going to bring you back to the previous page. You need to click save on that page again, and then it's going to be registered. Because if you just click save on the first one, on the first one, and then in the second one you go back, it won't save it. We are doing an update that you just click save once, but it's because of the logic of the controller how it's built. I need to access deeper settings, so you need to click save twice for now. But I know for a fact that when you do this, it won't reset the setting. So try this and let us know.
Cool, amazing. Well, again, thank you so much to everybody in the comments who left comments before and after. Again, we're going to be here every Friday, So please submit your questions beforehand. The more questions, the better. And if you want any other insights into anything, again, 30 minutes goes by super, super quickly. So again, we're super excited to keep having these. And thank you for tuning in. Elwan, Nadim, thanks again. And, we'll
next week is the servicing, or is the hardware keynote, right? Or is it the software one?
Software first.
Software next week, hardware the week after. A lot of really interesting updates. So subscribe to the channel, I guess. I'm plugging the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that because there's gonna be a lot of content coming your way over the next couple weeks and the summer. It's a big summer for us. Super excited about it. So yeah, thanks guys. Pleasure as always.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.